YouTube, what's going on? I'm back here to shoot a very short video. My home theater is a mess right now, but I had plans to come down here earlier in the summer and just kind of update you guys with a couple of small changes that I have made in this room. However, I am down here talking about physical media. There were a lot of movies that I purchased a long time ago based off of recommendations from so-called experts. Mostly, I was interested in overhead surround sounds. So we have our side surrounds, we have our front center stage, we've got our rears, but I haven't heard what Dolby Atmos sounds like with overhead surrounds yet. So I installed some in my home theater and I ran out and bought these movies based off their recommendations. They said, oh, it's going to be a lot of Atmos sounds you can hear. We highly recommend these movies. So I purchased them and I basically got a 4-second clip of sound. One of the ones that comes to mind right away, because it's right in front of me, would be A Quiet Place. Now, there is a really good effect that is had, a good effect that is to be experienced with the monster that's kind of walking around overhead, and you can hear him on the upper floor while the lady's in the bathtub, and the monster sort of moving around overhead, and you can hear that transition from one surround overhead to the other. And it's a really cool effect, but it's very short in duration. I'm looking for movies that use use the overhead sounds just like they use the sides, the front speakers, the rear speakers. When you step outside in the real world, you hear birds, you hear ambience all over where your ears are picking up sounds from. Overhead and back of you, to the front, to the left, to the right, 360 degrees of sound. And that's what I was looking for a movie. If you're going to do a movie that takes place outside with sound going around, you should have those sounds going in all of these speakers. I feel like a lot of the sound engineers just get plain lazy. So I'm going to break this up into 2 segments. One being dynamic audio that really is going to test your speakers and give them a test drive for either sound demo purpose or just to put a smile on your face. If you're trying to see if you have your speakers calibrated correctly and everything sounds good, these are going to be really dynamic movies to test your system out. So I'm going to do top 3 for both dynamic audio and specifically overhead surrounds. First on the list, starting at number 3, I can't recommend this movie enough because of the dynamic sound, and that's going to be Gran Turismo. The sound of the engines in this movie, there's the crashes, there's just the racing, everything is just really just powerful, and they kind of show the camera sort of zooming in on the engine. You see the pistons going and everything, and it sounds amazing hearing those cars shift gears and skid around the corners. Very, very good. My number 2 recommendation, this is going to be something that I have chosen to do a sound demo in my theater, I don't know, probably 30 times, and that's going to be Batman. In this movie, there's a scene with not the Joker, but the Penguin is shooting at what's his name, Commissioner Gordon, and then Batman is just in the shadows, and he turns on the Batmobile, and everyone stops what they're doing and they look in that direction, and you can hear him like revving it, and then the chase starts, and then he's just chasing down the Penguin, and I just thought, like, man, that sounds insane. That's absolutely insane. If you've seen this movie, you know what scene I'm talking about, okay? So now my number one, the most dynamic sound, and I think it's a movie you guys need to pick up because they did a phenomenal job. It sounds better than the theater. I saw this in a theater twice, and it sounds better in my house than it does in the theater, and that's going to be Dune 2. All of these movies, by the way, I highly recommend to pick up in 4K Ultra HD media. Physical media is the only way to go. It's the only way to go. You can stream content, but physical media is lossless. It is the only way to go. This movie absolutely blows me away, and I use it for sound demos, especially the part where they're in the big fight arena and everything is in black and white. It's the Baron, the I don't know, the tank breathing guy in Fade Rotha. And I thought that was amazing. Mind blown. Let's talk about overhead surrounds. These are my top 3 recommendations, guys. If you want to hear overhead surround like never before, you have to get these 3 movies. You just have to. Number 3, I'm going to go ahead and give it. I mean, it's tough making these decisions. The number 1 and number 2 they're just easy, no brainers. But number 3, I got to give it to John Wick. John Wick has a lot of sounds going on with because they're action movies, and it's just nonstop action. You got a lot of the soundtrack overhead when he's in sort of these clubs, and you hear a lot of that reverb in the overhead speakers. But the one thing that's common in every single one of the movies, it's always raining, and I don't know why. Every single one of these movies, it's raining. It's even raining on the front cover. Can't recommend that movie enough. The overhead sound of the rain is just wonderful. Number 2, and this is where it gets a lot easier for me, guys. I can't recommend this one enough. Nope is amazing. I don't even have enough adjectives to describe the overhead surrounds in this movie, and it makes sense. And that's going to be Nope. If you guys have seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. Everyone's looking up because they hear Atmos. And that's what you're going to be doing too. As I don't want to ruin the subject matter in this movie. It's kind of hidden, but you'll figure it out quickly enough. This image right here, you're going to hear a lot of that moving around overhead in your home theater, and it sounds phenomenal. It's eerie at times. Moving on to my number 1, and I'm going to this list very quickly because I can talk about these movies all day. Guys, I love movies. I love movies. I love home theater. I love this kind of content. But my number 1 recommendation, you have to grab this, and that's going to be Civil War. Civil War is, out of everything I've owned, and I've been watching movies for a very long time, building my collection, Civil War is number 1 for dynamic audio, but especially the overhead surrounds. It is constant throughout this movie. Constant. Jets, helicopters, explosions, missiles, bullets, ricochets, everything in this movie. You hear overhead surrounds, and it's not even like a little. I mean, I'm talking, it's hitting. It hits just as much as your front towers. These get a lot of action during the movies. These guys are working overtime, but your overheads, man, you'll hear like some soundtrack from the movie score, and a little bit here and there, but never I don't really hear like a lot of straight up thump. That movie kills it. The sound engineers on that need a pay raise, and they set the standard for every single thing that comes out on 4K home release with the Atmos content, Blu-ray, whatever it is. They set the standard. Everything else falls below. That's it, guys. I don't want to make these videos too long. I want to get straight to the point. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you check out a couple of these movies, especially if you're looking for some good overhead surrounds. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.